Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group Securities offered by MoneyBlock. And this is the closing bell. Let's take a look. We had some records today. Dow Jones finished up 100 points at 21,613, just shy of its record close. But really what's notable is not the blue chip index, it's the S&P 500. Set an all-time high today. Did come off of that high. But you can clearly see that the bulls have garnered control not only in the blue chips in the Dow, but also in the S&P 500. Looks like the pullback in the bonds was a good catalyst for the banks, for institutions that are interest rate sensitive, because we had bond prices coming off, interest rates going up. That got the S&P 500 to record levels. Let's see if that continues. We'll watch the after hours in the bonds. Trading right now at 24.74 on the S&P 500 E-minis. The Nasdaq 100 finished down 10, but what's notable is that you see that these large cap techs, they caught up. Now, yes, you had Google that was down about 31 points, as we had been discussing all day today, and pretty much every pundit. Not totally unexpected, but there is a battle. But the bulls are on their heels, but not losing. A break below the 50-day moving average at 957.95, then you're talking about a potential trend shift in Google. But right now, this is just a pullback. Bulls got to dig their heels in right now. If you're not in Google, you're looking to get into Google, this is the area between 957 and 969. That's the battle zone that I talk about between the 20 and 50-day. This is where it's going to be fought. After hours, just holding strong, as well as the Nasdaq futures finishing up in the green. When you take a look at the Nasdaq futures, up 775. So you got the large cap tech holding up. Really solid performance today by Apple. Apple came in up about 65 cents. The real story here is that they've been grinding higher. And Apple has been driving to the upside. You did see that small caps, taking a look at the Russell 2000, continue to move to the upside with some conviction today. There's a high anticipation that they're going to get through the repeal of Obamacare, which then starts to set the stage for tax reform. If they get any type of healthcare reform, that's going to free up the ability to actually make any tax reform possible. They need healthcare to get tax reform through, but that's going to be highly debated. This healthcare reform is going to be probably one of the most contentious fights that you're going to see on the Senate floor so far this year. Taking a look at crude oil, as we had noted, finished up $1.41. Really, it was on the news that the Saudis, they're going to limit their exports to 6.6 million barrels. You also had the Nigerians coming in, which is a country that's not part of the OPEC union or group, but is a non-OPEC. They said that they would adhere to a 1.8 million barrel limit as far as production. We'll see if that adheres, but that was enough of a catalyst to the upside for crude. You saw not only the CL contract, which is the West Texas that's traded here in the States, but also Brent. Watch the EIA report tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern time. Let's see if there's a draw. Gold, still right at that 1249, 1250 level. Watch this one closely. You want to watch it on the 20-day moving average at 1240, 50-day moving average at 1244. That's going to be a critical level to hold for the gold bulls. What has been impressive is copper. Copper completely took off today. This is a huge positive for not only the base metals and metals area, miners. That's why you saw the UK stocks moving to the upside. But this is also positive for infrastructure plays. If copper continues to move to the upside and challenge in this area of 290, 293, I mean, if you go back on a weekly chart, you could see that really resistance is right here in that 280, 285 level. Then the next level of resistance really doesn't come in until around $3. That's a huge positive for copper and metals. What did take a pretty significant hit today in front of the FOMC decision tomorrow, which is the Federal Reserve, was bonds. Bond prices came down pretty precipitously. 1% on the 2-year, 0.6% on the 10-year, and about 1.43% on the 30-year. Some big moves there in the bonds. A little jump of the gun before the Fed comes out. I think there's a lot of long bond traders that decided to get out before they hear how the Fed is going to start to unwind this enormous balance sheet of $4.3 trillion worth of assets. Let's watch that very closely. This is going to be another catalyst potentially for the bulls in the equity world. What is also going to be a game changer is going to be earnings. Taking a look at Amgen, announced after hours, looks like they disappointed. Stock's trading down 389 right now at 177. We looked at it in Tech Talk today. Basically saw about a $4.32 move being priced into this, which is a little over 2.5%. Moved 2.15% so far after hours. Happens to be at the downside. Taking a look at Chipotle. Chipotle's trading up another $8 after what was an impressive session today. So total today, it's up over 16, almost a little over $17. If you actually take a look at what we talked about, we were pricing in about on Chipotle right around a $22 either upside or downside move. Right now, the stock is trading to the upside, even though they disappointed on some revs. Their profits really did double. So shares on the move for Chipotle, regardless if rats are dropping from the ceiling. Coke trading right now down a penny. So basically in line. Watch that one announcing tomorrow. Baxter trading up 2 cents. And then you see Boeing trading right now in line with its close. They're announcing tomorrow. On Baxter, we have about $1.40 being priced in as potential movement either up or down. AMD, another stock that announced after hours on the move. AMD has been actually moving very quickly this after hours. Their earnings were pretty solid. I haven't had a chance to drill through them, but I have seen the price action. Stock got as low on the initial earnings announcement as 13 and some change, then rallied all the way back to 15.02. It's trading at up 91 cents. We saw about the $1.45 move being priced in to AMD, and it is really fulfilling that, going from as low as I said 13 to as high now as 15. 14.96. So good range, and we saw it being priced in by the options, so I'm not too surprised. Watch Wynn Casinos. Wynn came out. They reported. Looks like they disappointed. Stock's down $3.72. Wynn was pricing in a $7.80 range going into the end of this week. What's also notable, watch the Hong Kong gaming stocks. We'll talk about this tomorrow morning when we report on the Asian activity in the overnight session. But the Hong Kong gaming stocks might be taking it on the chin overnight. We'll see if these Wynn results start to impact Macau and the gaming stocks, the casino stocks in general here in the States as well. All right, folks, that is it right now for the closing bell. Always go back to MarketStream on our Facebook page. You can check out all of our live presentations, and all our recordings are there. Also go to MarketStream.live. There is a great premium content section that's going to be built out. Please take an opportunity to take a look at that, as well as all of the videos. And I walked through a tech talk today on how to actually calculate those moves that I just discussed about in those stocks like Chipotle after hours. That gives you great context and expectation. All right, folks, we'll see you tomorrow at right around 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern. We're going to start kicking it off with our market discussion, taking a look at Asia, Europe, and then we'll flow into the United States. All right, we'll see you then, and have a great evening.